Para business leaders dan intellectual business community, kita lanjutkan diskusi kita hari ini dalam program CEO Reference, yaitu the link between competitive advantage and corporate social responsibility. Artikel yang mendapatkan McKinsey Award di tahun 2006 karena artikelnya sangat baik dan ditulis oleh Michael Porter dan Mark Kramer, dua orang profesor dari Harvard Business School. Kita lanjutkan diskusi kita. Tadi kita sudah tanya dari Ibu Lani dari Standard Chartered Bank tentang bagaimana Standard Chartered Bank mengidentifikasi CSR yang mereka akan lakukan dan bagaimana Standard Chartered Bank melihat CSR ini dalam hubungannya dengan konteks strategi dari Standard Chartered Bank. Dan salah satunya adalah tentang pendidikan yang disupport oleh Sampoerna Foundations. So Ron, Bu Lani said that Sampoerna Foundation supported Standard Chartered Bank in identifying and then execution of the corporate social responsibility in educations. Yeah. At what stage did you come into this corporate social responsibility activity? In the planning side, or when they have formulated the actions what to do, then Sampoerna Foundation helps the Standard Chartered?
No, definitely in the planning side. Perhaps it would be helpful to explain how a partner can support a good corporate citizen like Standard Chartered Bank. The Sampoerna Foundation is a philanthropic organisation, but is also a corporate social responsibility service provider and partner. And what we do is we come in and provide the back office and the front office at our expense, so that all of the funds that are available for projects by our partners can actually be spent in those projects in the middle office. The example you gave before of Michael Porter, where he said 60% of the funding went to advertising and only 40% went to where it was needed. Our objective is that a partner can put 100% of their funding into what they want to do. It's their brand. They own it. We come in and we make it successful. We deal with, in education, the local deaness. We deal with the local Ministry of Education. We deal with the local officials. We deal with the local communities. In rebuilding the schools, we provide the plans and we organize the contractors. We do all of the work and organize it, but it belongs to Standard Chartered Bank and their employees.
Okay, Bu, so you see that you chose Sampoerna Foundation as your partner to help you to this for this CSR in education. Why do you ask the support from Sampoerna Foundations while Standard Chartered Bank is a big bank that they can form their own teams to execute this? I mean, must be something that you think Sampoerna Foundation can help you better than you make your own team.
Okay, so I think the the objective of all of our CSRs is actually it has to reach the target.
Right.
It has to reach the target, 100%. Now, why Sampoerna Foundations? Because we know their reputations. It's just like Pak Ron is saying. We have to ensure that all the funds that we provide for these activities will go to the parties, to the segments, to the people that need it. So we are convinced on Sampoerna's reputations on this. So it's a very important element when we want to partner.
But don't you, if you have your own people, don't you, better be able to control it better?
Yeah. Well. One thing is that, again, we want to make sure that it is being executed well in terms of timeline and in terms of target.
All right.
But it doesn't mean that our people is not involved. Our people is also involved. We have several CSRs, including the one with Sampoerna.
Right.
So, for example, when we teach teachers how that we can contribute into the materials and even the people who teach them, etc. So, and it's still being developed.
Right.
So the good thing is that we have that the discussions, ideas sharing is there, and their structure is also very good.
Right.
And again, back to the involvement of staff, there is no boundaries. actually. Within all our CSR activities, we also involve our staff.
Right.
Yeah.
So in this case, then you get a boost from the Sampoerna foundations to do your CSR, performing better rather than you do it by your own team, right?
Yes.
So rather than you get the extension of hands, rather than doing it by your own hands, which is limited, right?
Yeah.
Okay. On the Sampoerna foundation side, I mean, you have your philanthropical organizations. Yeah, you are set up on the mission of philanthropical, right? But how this helping other companies come into your basic mission and vision? I mean, how does it connected with your vision and mission?
That's a good question. Firstly, let me say that the vision of the Sampoerna Foundation is one thing. There's one reason I'm sitting here talking to you at the moment. We want to create young visionaries and leaders for this country. That's what we're doing. But to get there, we've got to develop a pathway. A pathway of good schools, model schools. We will never be able to change this education system. That's the responsibility of the government. But what we can go and put into place are best practice models. As we do these best practice models, it's all part of the pathway of finding these young people who are academically worthy of going further from the poorest villages and backgrounds around this country. On the way there, in an education system where the government cannot afford to cover the changes that have actually got to happen, corporate social responsibility is going to play a critical role, not just in Indonesia, but in all countries around the world, developed and developing countries, and not the least of which is Indonesia. No country in the world today is finding it easy to fund new systems of education, training, and lifelong learning. And Indonesia is coming from behind in many respects. Corporate social responsibility partners are going to play a huge role in making a difference. But you can only focus and do so much. So on this route to developing these best practice models, we've engaged with corporate social responsibility partners to help us develop this pathway. Currently, it's well known that we've given about 30,000 scholarships in the last 6 years. The Standard Chartered Bank have actually been part of that project. 30% of those scholarships now come from the corporate sector. 70% are still funded philanthropically. We would like to get to 70 or 80% by the corporate sector. In our programs, like the other part of the programs that the Standard Chartered Bank engage in, which is teacher training, 150 teachers, 150 principals, rebuilding schools, over 2/3 of the funding now comes from our corporate social responsibility partners. So the available funding that we have can do many more projects by us funding the back office, so that Standard Chartered Bank and other big firms that we work with don't have to worry about the back office, don't have to worry about the front office, dealing with Dinas, dealing with Bupati, dealing with local officials, and dealing with school communities. We'll take that off their hands. And hopefully, and if it keeps going the way it is, we'll make them more successful and they will get greater coverage with the available funding that they have. Let me add one other thing, which I think Standard Chartered Bank does well. It involves its employees. The employees have got their scheme where they contribute as well to scholarships. I've attended a number of ceremonies where scholarships have been given out to poor children from companies like Standard Chartered Bank, AXA, and other companies, and it's just wonderful to be there. But they are employee-generated schemes. So we can step in and make them more successful as well. Because it's not just a matter of giving the scholarship, you have to manage these scholarships. Sometimes there might be a poor farmer who wants to take the child out of school and bring them onto the land. Our job is to step in and help keep these kids in school. We take all of those issues off the plate of Standard Chartered Bank and hopefully make ourselves an effective partner for them in providing corporate social responsibility services.
All right. Okay, good. So we will continue our discussions after a short break. So para business leaders and intellectual business community, kita harus break sebentar untuk masuk ke dalam segmen ketiga. Diskusi kita hari ini adalah the link between competitive advantage and corporate social responsibility. In the next segment kita akan explore lebih jauh bagaimana Ibu Lani ini bisa melihat linknya dengan measurement yang lebih jelas. Apa sih measurement yang bisa menunjukkan bahwa itu ada hubungannya sama competitiveness dari Standard Chartered Bank. Kita akan break untuk masuk ke dalam segmen berikutnya, dan buat Anda yang ingin berpartisipasi silahkan SMS 0896 kali 788. Anda bisa bertanya, mengemukakan pendapat ataupun mengemukakan komentar tentang topik kita ataupun program CEO Reference. Kita break untuk segmen berikutnya.